Okay, good afternoon YouTube. Fat Cat Collections back at you with another fragrance or cologne review. And today I'd like to talk about another one from the house of Penhaligons. And this one's called Quercus. Quercus. Quercus? Quercus. Quercus? Not Carcass. God, I hope not. No, Quercus. I always have a hard time saying that one. The Brits say it much, much better than I do. Anyway, there's sophistication with them that there is not with myself. But anyway, this fragrance is really interesting to me. I went ahead and just put it on about 10 minutes ago. And this, to me, it's very, very familiar to something that I have smelled before. And the problem with fragrances that are, I guess, very citrusy, in my opinion, is that they tend to have been done many, many times. And whenever you're looking for that fresh summer refreshing scent, they do start to smell similar. Now again, I'm not saying this smells exactly like the fragrance that I have. And I do want to make a couple comparisons here while I'm doing this review. Because again, as much as I would like to tell you how great these fragrances are, which they are, and very rarely will I have a negative fragrance. And if I ever have one, I am more than happy to do a negative review on that. Which again, I've only have two that I've reviewed that have been negative. But this one here is definitely not a bad fragrance, okay? And a little bit about the fragrance. This stuff here is described as kind of a splash of cold water in the morning. I guess to be compared with being refreshed. I never do that in the morning. I'm freezing. But anyway, this fragrance is compared to just a fresh blast of fresh air, fresh water in your face in the morning, and just this happiness that comes along with summer. When you first put on, you're hit immediately with a burst of citrus. So you have your oranges, your lemons, any kind of citrus note. Basically, you're gonna have that huge blast of citrus, and then it kind of settles into more with some woods and some musk, and then you have a little bit of floral in there as well. And there are lots of fragrances that kind of mimic that, or I guess not mimic, but that go along with that particular theme. So again, I love the House Penhaligons, and I feel like their branding is very much that of your sophisticated gentleman. Just like some of the reviews I've done on some of their other fragrances like Santorial, which I actually still have on this wrist. You have that barbershop vibe, that manly sophistication. This is a unisex fragrance, so I understand that they're trying to, I guess, appease to a larger group of people, men and women. And this is not a bad scent at all, but when I smell it, I do feel like I smelled something similar to this. And I have a couple I'd like to mention in case that you smelled it. Again, it does not smell this. There's no clones here I'm talking about. But I'm saying that this is very, very similar. And I'd like to put a little bit more on. The sprayer that they sent me over at Penhaligons is a little bit broken here. So I have to take it apart and just kind of dab a little bit on my wrist. And again, these ones I don't really wear all that much. I kind of save them. This one here is no exception to that. I just like to do these for reviews. I'm going to rub that in a little bit. So right off the bat, when I first smell this fragrance, I am immediately reminded of three fragrances out of my collection. One being this one of the three. I guess it's most like this on the opening. And this one's here is by Armaf. This is called Italiano Uomo, which is supposed to be a Tom Ford Tuscan leather clone. Although I don't really get a lot of leather out of this, but this has been compared for granted to Tuscan leather. The other one that comes to mind is Banana Republic Slate. And again, these have those citrusy notes. Although there's a huge difference between all these, when you smell them for the first time, like the first blast, the citrus is so strong. Citrus is such a strong note that immediately they always smell very, very similar. And I have to tell you, this does, on my arm, smell very, very similar with better projection and longevity than Italiano Uomo. I don't know how this compares to Tom Ford Tuscan leather. I may be stretching that, even making that statement, but I will say that this is a very, very fresh, summery scent. This is the kind of cologne you put on, and you don't really remember that you have it on until you get a compliment on it. I imagine this would be a compliment getter. Nobody's going to dislike this scent. And as it does settle down, you do pick up more florals in this than you did when you first put it on. I think that's because your citruses kind of die down a little bit and it becomes a little bit more floral, and then you pick up those musk and those woods. Not a bad fragrance at all, although I have not worn this out in public. I haven't really had some time to really get to know it, but I know I did try it a few weeks ago. I did put more on, hence how I broke the sprayer, and I definitely liked it, but it was nothing that I think that anybody will smell on you. Again, not to diss on the fragrance at all, because it's a fantastic fragrance. All the fragrances, all the products by the House of Penhaligons is fantastic. But for my personal taste, I'm not a freshy scent kind of guy. I'm more of the ones that are daring, sophisticated, like the zoologist ones that people smell and they're like, ooh. Even ones that I put on sometimes and I'm like, ah, you know, just not sure. I kind of like stuff like that. So freshy scents, although I appreciate them, although I'm happy to have them in my collection, I tend to not wear them as much as I do the ones that are tobacco, oud-based, heavy woods, heavy orientals. I really like those kind of fragrances more because I kind of feel like on my skin, the fresh ones don't seem to project and last very well on me. And that's probably why I lean more towards those fragrances. And I just kind of like daring scents a little bit. That's more my personality. So, but again, just to be clear, Penhaligons is a great company. This is a great fragrance, but it does smell similar to fragrances I have smelled before. But I will say it's interesting how it changes from that heavy, heavy citrus and does become a little more floral and woody, which is probably why that it's a unisex fragrance. So again, gentlemen, not to turn you off this fragrance, you're not going to get like a flower bomb out of this or anything like that, but you definitely have a little bit of floral, and with those woods mixed in, you kind of get the vibe, although it doesn't have it in it, that there is a little bit of, I don't believe there's any in it, vanilla. So let me go ahead and read the notes on there. This is straight off the website and confirmed with Fragrantica. This one here is a cipher fragrance for men and women. It came out in 1996, so it's been around a while. And let's see. The notes are, I'm not going to go with the fancy name for what they refer to a lemon as, okay? There's different kinds of lemons, I guess. We're just going to go with lemon, lime, mandarin, orange, and bergamot. Hence your citrus top notes. Your middle notes are jasmine, lily of the valley, and cardamom. Your base notes are oak moss, sandalwood, galbanum, musk, and amber. So again, no vanilla in this, but I think that those florals combining with the musk and amber give it a slight, ever so slight vanilla quality, although that could just be me. That just could be the way I smell it on my particular skin. But a fantastic fragrance. Again, picture on the beach, the ocean, summer, sun beating down, and this fragrance is kind of radiating off you with just this nice, fresh, summery scent. So if you like fragrances like that, if you have tried, again, this is a cheapie. I have 3 cheapies here. Now, Italiano Umar is a little more expensive. You're going to run about $25, $30 for that one there. If you're going to get into Banana Republic Slate, $19.99. And, of course, this new one I picked up, Pure or Blanche. Man, I just destroy these names, but that's okay. That one there, $12. Longevity on that's horrible, but they do have that freshness to them. So I would urge you, if you ever are in a store and you see Banana Republic and you're thinking about maybe trying Penhaligons and you see Banana Republic Slate for $19.99, pick it up. Longevity is nowhere near as good. The quality of those juices, although I love Banana Republic, the quality is nothing like Penhaligons. I mean, I put just a couple drops on this stuff. I mean, it smells stronger than if I were to put on 3 sprays of Banana Republic. But it's cheap enough where you can really douse yourself in that kind of stuff. Again, that depends on your skin type and how fragrances last on you. And again, what you can smell. Because I tell you, like, I have a hard time smelling anything. My nose gets used to things very quickly. So again, fragrance reviewing is very subjective. So if you have any experience with this cologne, go ahead and put a comment in the section down below, in the comment section. And remember, what I was saying was, if you see Banana Republic Slate anywhere and you smell it and you like that fragrance for $19 and you want to step up your game to something that's going to be of a higher quality, this could be had for about $100, $150 through the links on my website. If you can't find them there, you can find them at Penhaligons. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description, and check out the card section in the upper right hand corner to go to the other playlist that I have where I review more of the Penhaligons fragrances and get an idea what that company is all about. So thank you very much for watching, folks. Remember to subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day.